Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Chris, the founder of Vansora Marketing. It's a cold email marketing agency. And today I want to talk about how to actually write a cold email. I had a video about that before, but it sucked, so I'm making a new one. And I'm making this video because it's crazy to me that people actually still mess this up. Um, there's a lot of other things that you could focus on, like deliverability and all that kind of stuff, but let's start with the copy and then you can tweak it from there. So here I have how to write cold emails that actually get responses. Okay. Brutal truth about cold email is most cold emails fail because they break the cardinal rule. They focus on what you want instead of what they need. Okay. Today I'm going to show you the exact framework that gets me responses from my clients. So this is the 3-part framework. All right. The first part is the personalized salutation. I'm going to be honest, like it doesn't actually need to be personalized, at least the salutation part. If you can do it with Clay or you're doing manual outreach, that's great. It's always good to separate yourself. At least show you've done your homework in 10 words or less. Okay, give them something to actually resonate with. Hi, Sarah. I noticed your agency's recent rebrand looks fantastic. Hi, Michael. Saw your post about scaling. Okay, stuff like that. It works. But you don't have to do it. Okay, but it's good. So this is the part that actually is really important. Okay, part 2. The pain point that resonates. Talk about their own product or service and what actually works versus what they're doing now, which doesn't work. Okay. So this is what people mean when they say personalization, if they know what they're talking about. That doesn't mean, oh, I saw you went to this college, go Gators or whatever, right? That's not personalization because it doesn't actually matter. So the main personalization that you want to be able to include is the pain point. Okay. And you can tailor that to whatever list you're using. Okay. Go to perplexity.ai, say, what are some common pain points of this audience, right? It's not that hard. Pick the best one, test out 2 or 3 of them. Okay. That's what's really going to resonate with them. Struggling to generate leads with your limited team and budget. That's a pain point that a lot of people are probably facing. Finding it difficult to measure the ROI of your current marketing efforts. Okay. They might be struggling with that. A lot of people are. Tired of inconsistent client acquisition eating into your profits. All right. A common pain point that's tailored to the audience that's going to be relevant to them most likely. If they're someone who's a good fit for your service, this pain point should resonate with them. Okay. Because this is the key. Make them think, how do they know exactly what I'm dealing with? All right. Do a little research, test out some different ones. All right. Make this the problem that you solve. All right, part 3. This is what most people do. Can we hop on a call? All right, that's outdated. Probably used to work, doesn't work anymore. Everybody wants to hop on a call. All right, this is what actually works. Offer something valuable before asking for anything. All right, it's the reciprocation effect. Okay, just give them something valuable, something that's actually useful. Okay, one of the biggest things in business, if you're going to get your foot in the door, you have to be useful. Okay, a lot of people say value, provide value. All right, value is pretty vague. Just be useful. If they need something, you want to be the person they think of, right? All right, value first. I've created a guide that shows how agencies cut lead costs by 80%. Would you like our checklist that helps companies quantify CSR impact? I've got a cheat sheet revealing why cold email outperforms other methods. All right, these are ones that I've used for me or for clients. It can be, depending on what kind of funnel you're doing, it can be a PDF, it can be a free course, something like that, something that's going to give them a taste of solving their problem. Okay. And good rule of thumb is just, if you were to walk up to this business owner and say, hey, do you want this for $5? They would say yes. Okay. That's all it needs to be. Except you're not going to charge them $5. You're going to give it to them for free. All right. So the golden rules of high converting emails: keep it under 50 words. Okay. It pretty much 100% has to be under 50 words if you want it to reach the inbox. I would try to keep it under 40. I mean, you could write a cold email with like 9 words in it if you really wanted to. Hi, name, offer, question mark, and that's it. I mean, it could be that short if you really wanted to do that, and that's not a bad thing. But definitely want to keep it 50 is the absolute maximum, 40 is better. 1 sentence per section. Pro tip, if you can't say it in 50 words, you don't understand your own value proposition clearly enough. All right, you need to break it down. How do you help this business make more money? Not your actual mechanism, but what do they get? Do they get sales calls? Do they get higher conversions? Do they get automations? Okay, you wouldn't word it that way. You would word it by telling them they're going to save money. That's all you need to tell them. You don't need to tell them how you do it. Just tell them the offer. I have a video about offers to cold traffic if you want to go watch that. Keep it under 50 words. Rule number 2, avoid spam triggers. All right, this is a big one. Instantly is pretty good. With their AI tool, it scans your email and says if there's any spam trigger words, free, guarantee, limited time, act now, special offer. All right, there is no official Bible of what the spam words are, but you want to try to do your best to not use them. Okay. Again, Instantly has a good tool for that. Here's some things you can use instead. Complimentary would be no cost. All right. Guarantee would be a proven approach. Limited time would be available now. All right, just try to word it a little better. Doesn't sound spammy. Rule number 3, focus on outcomes, not features. Again, this ties in with the offer. You wouldn't go up and say, we provide cold email services, because they don't care about that, okay? Generate 15 qualified calls monthly. That is an offer. That's a better offer, at least. Instead of we have great experience, we would say helped agencies increase close rates by 40%. All right, you need a quantifiable outcome. What can they expect? Even better if you guarantee it. 15 qualified calls or you don't pay. Increase close rates by 40% or you don't pay. All right, if you have case studies, you don't really have to do that, but it helps. All right, here's the follow-up sequence. Email 1, gentle reminder. Here's a script for that. Wondering if blah, 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 blah. Busy schedule, here it is again. It says here's the link again. You don't want to send a link unless they've responded positively. Email 2, different angle. All right, which challenge impacts you more, this pain point or this pain point? We solve both. Want details? Email 3, soft close. I'm wrapping this up before I go. Worth a quick conversation. This actually works pretty well. Before I close this out, do you want the lead magnet? I'm wrapping this up. Let them know, like, get it now. Key, each email provides a new angle, not the same message repeated. This respects their time. This framework respects their time, demonstrates that you did some research, and it addresses the real pain. You're solving a problem. That is what you do. That is your offer. You are making them more money, or you are helping them save money. Offer value first. I mean, before you get on a call, they should have a reason to like you. I mean, I've spilled all the sauce to prospective clients that I didn't even get on a call with yet. They're saying, I'm having issue with cold email. And I don't say, all right, get on a call so I could pitch you on why I should do your cold email. All right, I tell them everything they could possibly need to know on how to do cold email. That way they keep coming back to me. Eventually I'll close them, all right, because they can't do it themselves, and they'll realize that eventually. Build the trust gradually. Common mistakes. The autobiography approach. We're a 15-year-old company with 50 plus employees and extensive experience, blah, blah, blah. They don't care about your company. Again, this goes into the offer. The offer is the most important thing that you can have when you're selling to cold traffic. Cold email is cold traffic, technically. All right, the feature dump, they don't care about features. Again, quantifiable outcomes. The immediate ask, can we schedule a 30-minute call? You haven't earned the right to their time yet. Spill the sauce. Give them whatever they need. Tell them everything they need to know. The generic template. Hope this email finds you well. Sounds like every other spam email they get. All right, so here's an action plan before you create your next email. Research your prospects. If you're doing it manually, even if you're not doing it manually, research the audience. Again, perplexity.ai is great for that. Identify the pain points that you are solving. Create your value offer. All right. What can you give them before asking for anything? And then use just a simple 3-part framework. Hi, having trouble with this? My lead magnet will help you. Do you want it? Question mark. That's it. And then now you test and optimize. Instantly has a lot of good metrics that you can use. Don't use open rates. Yeah, I'll do another video about that sometime. There's a lot of videos on this stuff that I haven't done, other people have done. So look it up. So here's the bottom line. Here's the bullet points. Focus on them, not you. What is your offer? What are you going to do for them in a quantifiable way? Keep it under 50 words. 40 is better. Address the pain points. Lead with value. Follow up strategically. I would say 2 to 4 days between each email at least. Probably if it's cold traffic that hasn't given you any response, I'd probably max it out at like 4. And always be testing. You never know what's going to work or not work until you test it. So master this and you'll never struggle with cold outreach again. Actually, you probably will, but at least you'll be good for a little bit. So, all right, guys, that's it for now. Like, subscribe if you saw value or if I was useful. Thanks. See you next time.